We have the freedom to plan our lives starting at birth. Then one day our health changes and we realize we may not have planned for everything. Most of us that reach 65 will eventually rely on others to help us do the things we now take for granted. What's your plan for long-term care? Certified Senior Solutions Specialists can help. Even if you don't qualify for long-term care insurance, you may qualify for a new special critical illness policy that pays cash for conditions that cause most long-term care insurance claims. Call us today to plan ahead.
South Carolina Blue presents Senior Connections, a show about senior issues and events, a guide to active independent living in South Carolina, with your host, Kara Gormley, and financial consultant, Dr. Kevin Skipper.
Welcome to Senior Connections, brought to you by South Carolina Blue. Glad that you joined us each week at this time when we talk about the latest news, tips, and information to help you move through retirement, from retirement to parent care. I'm Kevin Skipper.
And I'm Kara Gormley. And you know, you've been telling us, Kevin, for weeks now.
In the mail.
That's right. Look out for tax information. Make sure you keep it organized. And it's creeping up on us. In fact, there's an agency right now, well, two, the Cooperative Ministry and the United Way. They're offering free tax service for eligible folks by IRS certified helpers, volunteers. And for folks that want to have more information about that, we have a little for you.
Yes, and you'll want to get on it because it's on a first-come, first-served basis. But if you're out there and you make $50,000 or less in income, there's about 13 sites around the Midlands set up where you can go and get some help with your taxes. And again, we hate taxes so bad that we often like to put it off till April the 15th. You don't want to do that. These folks are good enough to provide the service.
Yes.
Tell us where some of the locations are.
Well, there are a number of them, and if you need more information, you can go to our website, which is seniorconnections.tv. But some of them include the YMCA on Sumter Street in Columbia, Lexington Baptist Church, Newberry Literacy Council, and the Batesburg-Leesville Library. And those are just a few of the places you can get your tax done by the VITA volunteers. Now, unfortunately, they probably won't be able to write off their Valentine's Day gifts, or will they?
Well, here's my logic. I mean, my wife's in business with me.
Yes.
I buy her flowers.
I like where you're going with this.
I buy her candy. We won't make any tax recommendations on that, but I would make a recommendation that you buy your wife some flowers and you buy your wife some candy. It's the gift that it pays pretty good dividends.
I think so, and we can go even one step further. You may not have to buy anything because we're running a contest here on Senior Connections. Now, you have to sign up, go to our brand new website by Monday, February 12th, seniorconnections.tv, for a chance to win a bouquet of flowers and some lovely chocolates.
That sounds great. And also coming up, some of you are actually writing checks to your parents, and you're wondering at what point do they become a dependent on your tax return. We'll talk about that today. Stay with us on Senior Connections.
Senior Connections, brought to you by South Carolina Blue, here for you. Witt Ash Furniture, and by the South Carolina Medical Endoscopy Center.
So the kids are grown and gone, and you're downsizing. Hello, Joe Penner here. Downsizing is a great way to improve your finances, especially when you find forgotten treasure in the process, like unwanted gold and silver coins, flatware, tea sets, and jewelry. Don't sell your forgotten treasure till you visit the gold buying service at locally owned Bolton House Jewelers, where you can sell with confidence at some of the highest returns available. Downsizing? Ready to sell? I highly recommend Bolton House Jewelers.
At Crescent Construction, we know your home is one of your most valuable assets.
We specialize in roofing and remodeling projects. Leaks, storm damage, and age are all signs you may need to repair or even replace your roof. We perform a 20-point certified roof inspection when most contractors do not. We can better identify issues that may result in further and more costly damage.
A roofing assessment is free, so call us at 781-1900.
We guarantee our team is professional, clean, and dedicated to your satisfaction. So call us today.
Harbor Chase, an assisted living and memory care community, is home to the best, those who live here and those who care for them. Kindness abounds, as does respect for each life and the dignity it has earned. Our highly trained, compassionate associates provide the highest quality of care that engages body, mind, and spirit.
I am so glad my son found Harbor Chase for me. I'm happy here.
Harbor Chase, celebrating senior living each and every day.
Woodash is having a mattress sale. Why pay thousands of dollars for a Visco memory foam mattress when you can get a complete two-piece queen set of Woodash for $3.99? This quality mattress layered with Visco memory foam features a cool, comfortable quilted top for a comfortable, cool sleep every night. Highly resilient, highly durable, and best of all, at a discount price starting at just $3.99 for the two-piece queen set. For the lowest discount prices featuring Visco memory foam mattresses starting at $3.99, shop Woodash today. Woodash, located in the heart of the Vista, 919 Gervais.
We have the freedom to plan our lives starting at birth. Then one day our health changes and we realize we may not have planned for everything. Most of us that reach 65 will eventually rely on others to help us do the things we now take for granted. What's your plan for long-term care? Certified Senior Solutions Specialists can help. Even if you don't qualify for long-term care insurance, you may qualify for a new special critical illness policy that pays cash for conditions that cause most long-term care insurance claims. Call us today to plan ahead.
Welcome back to Senior Connections. I'm Kevin Skipper. Senior Connections brought to you by South Carolina Blue, who's also here to make our communities healthier. And we've got a great guest today.
Yes, Amanda Butler joins us once again. And this is an important concept because obviously you're helping folks at the retail store with their healthcare policies, but it's not just about the documents. It's about healthier communities as well.
Right, absolutely. So at our retail centers, we actually are having healthy cooking classes as well as Zumba classes. We also have educational classes as well, like Healthcare Reform and You, You're 65 Now What, Insurance 101. We just have lots to offer the South Carolina community.
And so when people want to learn about those classes, how do they learn about the choices and the times and the details of those classes?
Because Kevin wants to go to one of the Zumbas.
Yes.
Awesome. You
Right.
should.
What is Zumba? I don't know what Zumba is.
It's like fun Latin dancing.
Okay.
Yes.
It's active. It's great.
Great exercise.
You can actually go to our website, SouthCarolinaBlueRetailCenters.com, or you can give us a call or stop by the store and we can sign you up.
Now, a lot of our viewers are retired. How about those who are still working? You have some after-hours classes as well?
Absolutely, yes. So we have some classes at 6 p.m. and then we have some classes on Saturdays too.
Okay.
So for some of our viewers that say, oh man, I'm too old for something like Zumba, or I don't know, can you teach someone like me a better way to cook?
Absolutely,
Yes, right?
yes. And you are not too old for Zumba. We have some older folks come into our Zumba classes and they have an amazing time.
Not to mention, you can get really fit.
Absolutely, yes.
Correct?
So our instructor actually lost 40 pounds doing Zumba.
Wow.
Yeah, she's amazing. She is just a living testimony.
And what are some of the food classes that you have? What are
So-
some of the things you would teach us? Because I guess in the South, we all have to admit, we don't always eat properly. Too much sugar, too much lard, too much fried. How
Boy, does it
can you
taste
help
good,
us
though.
change that?
Well, we actually give out recipe cards and we actually go through cooking demos with you. We start with a breakfast, lunch, and dinner series, and then we wrap it up with a whole meal. And for the breakfast series, we just got done doing that one. We did a yogurt parfait, a sweet potato hash, just lots of neat options that are easy to do as well.
I'm getting hungry.
I know, it sounds pretty good.
That's great. Thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, and real quick
Thank
though, but
you.
before we go, for folks looking to find you, you're by the theaters, the movie theaters.
Yes, in the Harbison area, 1260 Bower Parkway.
Okay.
And we're right next door to Bonefish.
All right. Thank you so much, Amanda. And we
Thank
hope
you
to
for
see you
having
soon.
me. Thanks.
And we want to remind folks not to go anywhere. Still to come, we're going to meet some folks who have a unique and high-tech way of keeping seniors safe in their homes. So stay tuned for that.
Hi, I'm Darby at Beds & Such. We're a furniture store located at 2265 Augusta Highway, right behind the Chick-fil-A. We buy overruns, discontinued items. This store changes literally every day. You may have seen the national campaigns for new Cool Gel memory foam mattresses. The average price starts at $15.99 and they go into the thousands. This is our new top-of-the-line Cool Gel memory foam mattress. It has high resilient core, 4 inches of Italian latex, 3 inches of 4-pound gel-infused visco foam for a cooler sleep, $11.99 for a queen-size set. This is the national competitor's $3,000 version. It has 4 inches of 4-pound visco memory foam on a high resilient core, $7.99 a queen-size set. We now carry the same high-quality adjustable beds as our competitors at a fraction of the price. This queen fully adjustable bed with massage and wireless remote is only $11.99, and when combined with any of our all-foam mattresses, You could have the ultimate luxury sleep experience starting at $17.99. We invite you to Beds and Such to see what all we have to offer.
We have the freedom to plan our lives starting at birth. Then one day our health changes and we realize we may not have planned for everything. Most of us that reach 65 will eventually rely on others to help us do the things we now take for granted. What's your plan for long-term care? Certified Senior Solutions Specialists can help. Even if you don't qualify for long-term care insurance, you may qualify for a new special critical illness policy that pays cash for conditions that cause most long-term care insurance claims. Call us today to plan ahead.
Colonoscopy is a screening procedure to protect patients from colon cancer by looking for polyps and destroying them. Everyone should have a colonoscopy starting at age 50. If you have additional risk factors such as family history or previous polyps, you start earlier.
The South Carolina Medical Endoscopy Center is the place to get a colonoscopy done because it's the simplest and the staff is very friendly and Dr. Lloyd was just great.
For more, contact South Carolina Medical Endoscopy or go to wistv.com and click on health.
You know, choosing a financial advisor is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. You're seeking out a person or a firm that you will entrust your life savings with. I'm Dr. Kevin Skipper. I've been a financial consultant for over 20 years here in Columbia. Our firm is Discipline Financial Management. Here's some questions to ask an advisor. How long have you been in business and what are your credentials? What's your investment philosophy? What is your sales strategy? Let us answer these questions and many others. Give us a call at Discipline Financial Management. Welcome back to Senior Connections, brought to you by South Carolina Blue. I'm Kevin Skipper. One thing we know about a lot of our viewers is that as we grow older, we'd love to be independent and stay home as long as we can.
Of course.
But what happens if they fall? What happens if there's an emergency? What happens if you fall in the bathtub? All of those things are real life issues. Tell us about some technology with our guest today to help us with these issues.
Elizabeth Young is from Safe Life Senior. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
First, tell everybody what you do and how you can help folks who are kind of on the border. Can I stay at home longer? Maybe is worried about some of these things.
Well, our mission at Safe Life Senior is to make sure that seniors and the disabled can stay home for as long as possible. And sometimes in order to do that, folks just need to get help quickly in the event of emergency.
So it's just tied into the telephone system, or is it tied in through the internet or computer? So tell us how the technology works.
What we do is come out to the subscriber's home, or the elderly or the disabled, and we would put in what looks like a small speakerphone box unit. They actually wear a pendant that's waterproof that can be worn around the neck or around the wrist. And if they need help, they simply press that button, and a live person would actually come on to make sure that they're okay.
And you said that sometimes seniors are a little bit nervous that if they press that button, you know, they don't want the whole brigade coming, all of the emergency vehicles. So that isn't the first line of defense here, correct?
That's not. We always come on the speakerphone first to ask if that person needs help. If we don't get the response through the speakerphone, the next step is to then call through the home telephone. And then we have responders, so family members, friends, and neighbors that we can call either before the emergency personnel. And of course, if a person needs the ambulance or fire truck or policeman, they can always request that right away as well.
So how about if they're walking out to the mailbox and 100 feet away from the home? Does that cover the outside area?
It does. It does. We actually have installers that would come out and test the barriers of the yard, or if a person likes to go out in their workshop or in their garden. We actually have the furthest range test in the industry, which is 700 to 900 feet, so a pretty good ways away.
So I'm sure you've heard testimony of folks that probably thank you with their lives because you've gotten people there in time to help them.
Oh, definitely.
Tell us about that.
Oh gosh, there are many, many stories from both the family and the subscribers. We constantly get thank you letters. We actually had one lady who fell, and she fell through the glass shower door. And thankfully, she only had some slight cuts. She didn't break anything, but she was able to press the button and get help right away.
Great.
And so that was a huge testimony for us.
Now, sometimes as adult children, we think this is a great idea. But what if I've got a parent that's not as cooperative or maybe a little stubborn? Have you got a pill or an app for that?
Unfortunately, not yet.
But
the good thing is education. Always provide education of what's going to happen if help is not gotten quickly. So early intervention is key in the event of emergency, especially a major catastrophe like a heart attack or a stroke, even a fall. If you have to lay on the floor after a fall that may have broken a bone, just that time that you're going to lay there agonizing in pain. And sometimes one of the ploys that a child could use is, do you really want me to have to go through finding you in that position?
Also, for the the child looking out for the parent that is worried about bringing up the topic, it's worth bringing it up, at least to explore or to do some of their own exploration?
Definitely. There are so many things that can happen when a person doesn't get help quickly. Rhabdomyolysis, which is an infection of the kidney, simply laying on a damaged muscle for a long period of time can release proteins from that muscle into the bloodstream and then clog the kidneys. That could cause kidney failure or worse, death. So making sure that you get help quickly is very, very important.
So you could come out and give us a demo? That'd be a good way maybe to
certainly,
open up the dialogue with our parents?
Yes, we do free in-home demonstrations. We are a local provider, so we actually have an installer that would be able to come out into the home and speak with you and your family and give you all the information that you need.
Thank you so much for being here today, Elizabeth Young.
Thank you.
And still to come in a minute, a guest from the Midland Senior Resources is going to talk about some of the really great ways to spend your time helping others. You'll want to stay tuned for that.
Closed captioning made possible by Beds and Such, located at 2265 Augusta Road in West Columbia.
You're considering a reverse mortgage. What are the facts? Joining me as expert in the area of reverse mortgage, Larry Reed. Larry, good to see you today.
Thank you, Kevin.
You know, one of the things that people want to know, probably the most frequently asked question is, who owns the house when I do a reverse mortgage?
And I do get that question all the time, and the homeowner owns it. It's not the lender. It does not belong to the lender. You have to understand that. The home can be sold at any time. There's no prepayment penalty, and they only pay for what they've used. Very good.
So if you're looking at a reverse mortgage, call Larry Reed today, 269-1053. Welcome back to Senior Connections. I'm Kevin Skipper, and you are?
I am Kara Gormley Metter, and Deborah Lloyd with Senior Resources is joining us. Thanks for being here today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Well, I think that you sound like you have a really neat and gratifying job because you're helping folks who want to help seniors, right? To get involved?
Absolutely. We're actually helping the seniors. Our mission basically is to make sure that those seniors that want to stay in their homes are able to stay in their homes.
Good.
And live dignified lives while doing so.
Sure. And how do you help exactly?
Well, we do it through a variety of programs. The one that's most well known is Meals on Wheels.
Very good.
Where they get a nutritional meal every day, and it is given to them by a volunteer. And in many cases, this is the only person they'll see because they're sometimes homebound, but they are able to stay in their home. So we try to serve them not just the nutritional food, but the soul food as well.
And part of the soul food is the esteem they get out of and the gratification they get out of helping. I mean, I've seen many different seniors, some who just kind of hermit and lock themselves in the house, and some who get out and give to others and find out they're getting more than they're giving.
Absolutely. And some of our seniors also want to volunteer in other aspects, so we have other programs that assist them with that as well.
Tell us about some of the other programs.
That's Retired Seniors and Volunteer Program, where we match them with other organizations that need volunteers. And they sign them for us, and we get their information, and we match them with other organizations such as Harvest Hope and that sort of thing. So they get to still live that active life and meaningful life as well.
And so they can work as few hours or as many hours a week as they want to?
Well, it's according to whatever the need is, really, how they fit into that volunteer niche that is needed.
What's some of the feedback you get from people who say, you know, I think I'm going to try it, and then do they get hooked because they just...
It is so gratifying.
Yes.
We have organizations, individuals that just get a great joy out of walking up to that person's home, giving them a meal, and seeing that smile on their face.
Yes.
And giving back in that way is the best.
Some of these seniors, too, this is the first person that they, or maybe sometimes one of the only couple of folks that they're going to see during that time.
Absolutely. But unless they are paired with one of our senior companions, which is another program that we have, where other seniors help other seniors. They help them get ready for a doctor's appointment, or take them to the doctor's appointment, and just sit with them and socialize with them, because socialization is one of the things that's really lost when you're a senior without transportation or without the ability to travel on your own. And to those, we have a program, getting to another one, which is our congregate meals program, where we have our senior centers, where the seniors are driven there in the morning to come and visit each other and get their lunch meal and activities and wellness activities and such, so that they are getting to fellowship and get to know other people and have that kind of relationship with others.
Great information.
We need to get together more with you to do some senior spotlights. Deborah, thank you so much for being
My
here.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Much more ahead on Senior Connections.
Harbor Chase, an assisted living and memory care community, is home to the best, those who live here and those who care for them. Kindness abounds, as does respect for each life and the dignity it has earned. Our highly trained, compassionate associates provide the highest quality of care that engages body, mind, and spirit.
I am so glad my son found Harbor Chase for me. I'm happy here.
Harbor Chase, celebrating senior living each and every day.
Hi, I'm Darby at Beds & Such. We're a furniture store located at 2265 Augusta Highway, right behind the Chick-fil-A. We buy overruns, discontinued items. This store changes literally every day. You may have seen the national campaigns for new Cool Gel memory foam mattresses. The average price starts at $15.99 and they go into the thousands. This is our new top-of-the-line Cool Gel memory foam mattress. It has high resilient core, 4 inches of Italian latex, 3 inches of 4-pound gel-infused visco foam for a cooler sleep, $11.99 for a queen-size set. This is the national competitor's $3,000 version. It has 4 inches of 4-pound visco memory foam on a high resilient core, $7.99 a queen-size set. We now carry the same high-quality adjustable beds as our competitors at a fraction of the price. This queen fully adjustable bed with massage and wireless remote is only $11.99, and when combined with any of our all-foam mattresses, you could have the ultimate luxury sleep experience starting at $17.99. We invite you to Beds & Such to see what all we have to offer.
You may have seen actors on TV talking about reverse mortgages. Well, I am not an actor. I am Larry Reed and I live in the Midlands. For 7 years, I have been meeting face-to-face with older adults throughout the Carolinas and Georgia, supporting them to safely access their home equity with the federally insured reverse mortgage. So please call me. I'll help you understand the program, and then you can decide if a reverse mortgage is right for you.
So the kids are grown and gone, and you're downsizing. Hello, Joe Penner here. Downsizing is a great way to improve your finances, especially when you find forgotten treasure in the process, like unwanted gold and silver coins, flatware, tea sets, and jewelry. Don't sell your forgotten treasure till you visit the gold buying service at locally owned Bolton House Jewelers, where you can sell with confidence at some of the highest returns available. Downsizing? Ready to sell? I highly recommend Bolton House Jewelers.
At Crescent Construction, we know your home is one of your most valuable assets.
We specialize in roofing and remodeling projects. Leaks, storm damage, and age are all signs you may need to repair or even replace your roof. We perform a 20-point certified roof inspection when most contractors do not. We can better identify issues that may result in further and more costly damage.
A roofing assessment is free, so call us at 781-1900.
We guarantee our team is professional, clean, and dedicated to your satisfaction. So call us today.
We have the freedom to plan our lives starting at birth. Then one day our health changes and we realize we may not have planned for everything. Most of us that reach 65 will eventually rely on others to help us do the things we now take for granted. What's your plan for long-term care? Certified Senior Solutions Specialists can help. Even if you don't qualify for long-term care insurance, you may qualify for a new special critical illness policy that pays cash for conditions that cause most long-term care insurance claims. Call us today to plan ahead.
Welcome back to Senior Connections. I'm Kara Gormley. Senior Connections is sponsored by South Carolina Blue. It's time for some financial insight with Dr. Kevin Skipper, who's a financial consultant with Discipline Financial Management. And we've been getting a lot of tax questions. It's time. And this one is from Ron in Gaston. He says, I'm a caregiver and my elderly parent lives in my home. Can I claim my parent as a dependent on my tax return? What advice do you have?
Great information. Question that, as you pay your taxes, you have 3 children.
Yes.
They're dependent.
Yes.
Well, as we start getting more and more involved in our parents' financial, some are asking, can I claim them as a dependent? Well, you can if they're not the dependent of someone else.
Okay.
You can if they do not file a joint return. You can if they're a U.S. citizen. And you can if you pay half of your parents' support and you can if their income is below the exemption. So those are the qualifications that you have to meet in order to be considered a dependent. Check out publication 17 at irs.gov website. And Ron, thanks for the great email. Hope that others of you will send emails.
Yes.
We'd love to answer them on the show.
Yes, and also if you have some story ideas or things you'd like us to look into, make sure you contact us as well.
Great. So thanks for joining us today. Coming up next, the South Carolina Medical Endoscopy.
But before we get to that, do we have a book giveaway today?
Yes, we do.
Well, let's take care of that first.
It is entitled Avalanche, The Principles of Uncovering True Wealth by Steve Sandusky and Ron Carson. The fifth caller at 748-1317.
All right, you're not talking about the snowstorm we had a few weeks ago.
No, we're
okay,
not.
this is a book that could be very helpful for someone.
Well, that's true. It's about life
Yes.
and having the avalanche of a great life.
Awesome. 748-1317. Thanks for joining us today for Senior Connections.
Colonoscopy is a screening procedure to protect patients from colon cancer by looking for polyps and destroying them. Everyone should have a colonoscopy starting at age 50. If you have additional risk factors such as family history or previous polyps, you start earlier.
The South Carolina Medical Endoscopy Center is the place to get a colonoscopy done because it's the simplest and the staff is very friendly and Dr. Lloyd was just great.
For more, contact South Carolina Medical Endoscopy or go to WISTV.com and click on Health.
It's now time for the South Carolina Medical Endoscopy Senior Connections Extra. Each week at this time, we want to give you the latest information, tips, and strategies about what many believe is a preventable cancer that you can avoid with proper treatment. Joining us today is Dr. Stephen Lloyd. Our topic today is, what do I tell a friend? Good to see you, Dr. Lloyd.
Thank you so much for having me.
You know, I've learned so much from you in doing these segments about this cancer. I got the bad news from a friend recently that they're stage 4 colon cancer. Any words of encouragement for me?
A lot of prayer. We're hopeful. The treatments are getting a little bit better, but what we'd really like to do is to prevent that from ever happening. If people have their colonoscopies based on the American Cancer Society recommendations, that shouldn't happen.
Because when it gets to that kind of diagnosis, it really is very difficult to turn that ship around, correct?
It's the stage at which you're diagnosed. You're saying stage 4. Stage 1 colorectal cancer, which unfortunately we don't find very often because it has no symptoms, has a 95% survival rate. Stage 4 has a 95% death rate.
So when we say it's preventable, that's what the colonoscopy is all about. Get it and see it before it happens.
Exactly. Colon cancer doesn't start as cancer. It starts first as a growth called a polyp. And from the time a polyp is first visible during colonoscopy and it turning into cancer, usually takes more than 10 years. So while we're doing the colonoscopy and we see the polyps, we destroy them, we take them out, and then you can't get colon cancer. About 90% of colon cancers are preventable, and deaths should be exceedingly rare.
And so what you're doing is going in there in a preventative procedure to prevent this kind of diagnosis.
Yeah, to give you something to compare it to, a colonoscopy is 50 times more likely to save a life than a mammogram, because mammograms only find breast cancer, they don't prevent it. With colonoscopy, we prevent colon cancer, and it's a very deadly cancer, but it's so preventable. And the story that you shared with me is so sad. It shouldn't happen in this day and age.
So you've got a button on you there that says a message. What does it say?
It says, screen this too. And what we're just a little bit jealous of the people with the tatas. There's a lot of goalposts that are painted pink and shoes and things like that. We'd like to have equal press because, like I said, we have a test that's 50 times more likely to save a life. Don't forget your butt.
Absolutely. Dr. Stephen Lloyd, thanks for being with us today. The South Carolina Medical Endoscopy Senior Extra. Hope that you'll take advantage of these tests and give him a call this week.
Senior Connections, brought to you by South Carolina Blue, here for you. Whit Ash Furniture. And by the South Carolina Medical Endoscopy Center.